Welcome back to the F8N shop. It's been a while since I posted a video. There's been a lot of things moving here in the shop, and I just want to do a quick shop update just to let you know what's going on here in the shop. Got some new equipment. I sold some equipment, and I'm going to be getting some more. So just a quick shop update. I'll show you around. I finally got time to clean up the place a little halfway decent. So I'll show you some of the things that we're working on. So first off, if you notice this bare wall over here, there is something missing. And if you haven't guessed it, it's Princess Mona. So that was our CK12 Monarch. And on this side, where I had Queen Monarchy, she's gone too. So I didn't get a lot of opportunity to do work on that lathe. It was huge, it was big, it was almost intimidating. And I just didn't have very many jobs that came up that needed that size of a lathe. Most of the work I did was on the CK12 over here. And it was a good machine, but it was a little light duty for what I needed. It's a great starter machine. It's a great industrial made machine. If you need to take some heavy cuts on some 1-inch bar, things like that, it works out really, really well. But I'm starting to get into a little bit bigger things, and I just needed a heavier duty machine. So I put the big lathe on sale. That was a CB18, I believe. And a guy came and bought it, and I told him that I had the CK12 over here, which is an exact it's the exact same model. It's just a smaller version. All the gears, all the mechanics of it are the same. It operates the same. It's just the smaller version of it. And I didn't want to sell it because I had some work coming up that I had to have it for. I didn't want to sell it, but I also knew that at some point I was going to have to upgrade. So the guy made me an offer, and I sold it. I sold both of them at the same time. So the guy made me an offer, and I decided to go ahead and sell both of them. This guy came down from Texas. He had a huge trailer. We used the gantry crane here to lift both of them up on his trailer. We started with the small one. I got a few pictures. I'll throw those up. We started with the small one. Then we got the big one on there. It was a little challenging, but we got it. I got them sold, and with that, I was already eyeballing another lathe. I've been looking at this lathe for a couple of weeks. It was something that I wanted, but I just didn't have the money to get it at the time. And whenever I was able to sell these two, I actually drove down to Texas myself, and I picked this new lathe up. All right, so here it is. This is the new Monarch lathe. And I like Monarchs because they're like the Cadillac of their time. They were one of the best, and I like the controls. I like the functionality of them. I like the way that they look, and they're just awesome, awesome machines. So this one's slightly bigger than the CK12. This is a CW16, and I know you can't see that in there. And I forget what the swing is. I want to say it's 18 inches on the swing, but I'm not positive on that. And this thing, it is in great working condition. It runs really, really smooth. There's no issues. All the functions work on it. So it was just a good purchase with me. I did keep my tool post here. That is a Allure CA tool post. So I did keep that. And it came with 2 chucks. It's got a 3-jaw chuck sitting right there. And then a 4-jaw chuck, it's sitting back in there. And they did have these stands on them. The guys that I bought this from, they were all like 6 feet tall, and I'm just a little guy, so I probably won't be using these because it makes it uncomfortable being up that high. It was uncomfortable for them for these things to sit so low, but it's actually perfect for me. So the bed of this thing, if I have to guess, I think it's right at probably 3 feet. And that's just a really good position for me. So I can reach over the chuck really well or around the back, and I can actually get my arms underneath to get a chuck on here. And then another added bonus is this collet holder here. I don't know if I can get it out. But what this is it's a 5C collet holder. It's got a taper in here for a 5C collet. And the way that it works is with a drawbar. So they went ahead and gave me this drawbar as well. You can see that there. And inside this drawbar, you've got these threads, which thread onto the back of the collet. And then you've got this bushing and a bearing here. And how this works is it just goes right inside of the bore right here. So I can't get it in there right now, but it goes inside the bore right there. And the hand wheel will stick out the back, and you just tighten up that hand wheel. Whenever you tighten up that hand wheel, it engages the threads on the collet, and it tightens the collet up. So it's a very, very simple but effective design. And the great thing about it is that you have very little stick out. So when you get the collet in there, your stock is as close to the headstock as possible, versus having a chuck on here, which the size of the chuck plus the collet, and it's gonna have your work sticking out probably another 5 to 6 inches past the headstock. So I'm gonna try and get some videos in on that application as well. I've got a 5C collet coming in, and I've actually got some knurling work to do, so I'll try and get some of that posted. So I'm really excited with this machine. I've already had it hooked up. It's not hooked up right now, but I had it hooked up. I tested it, ran it all through, and everything works really, really well. But we will get this thing running, and we'll get some videos on it. I don't really know what to name it yet. I'm thinking this one looks kind of like a Prince, but we'll see. Any suggestions, go ahead and leave them there in the comments. Okay, so you may have noticed some other things in the shop. So like I said, there's been a lot of turnover as far as equipment. I've bought some, I've sold some. So a couple other things that I've bought, I'll show you. I don't know that I'll get around to making any videos on them, but I'll at least show them to you. And to be honest, I don't know that I'm gonna keep all of this stuff. I may just end up turning it and flipping it. So the first thing is this Viking tumbler. So here it is, and I've got my gantry in the way. So this is a Viking tumbler. This is an industrial tumbler, and this is a big boy. So these things are really, really nice. They're really useful. I just don't know if I have the need for one this size. So let me open this thing up so you can take a look. So it looks pretty nasty in there. But this is the actual bucket. And what you do in here is you fill it up with media, with polishing media. They look like little rocks or little stones or pebbles. And then you throw in some water or some coolant, and it just vibrates. It sits there and vibrates, and it polishes your material, or it deburrs your material. And you can see the gap here. That's to allow it to vibrate properly. And then it's also got this insulation, and I believe that is for just the noise dampening. So this is a really nice setup. I've looked up the company, and they've got a really renowned name. They're known for making tumblers and some other equipment. But I haven't powered it. I was told that it works. I haven't verified that it works. I haven't powered it. But I may get around to it. We'll see. If I don't, I might paint it. I could probably get a little bit more money out of it if it's got a new paint job on it. And if not, then I'll just sell it as is. So we'll see. I'm still trying to debate if I want to sell it or not. I don't think I need a tumbler quite that large, but who knows? You never know. A lot of times you don't know what kind of equipment you get until you get the next job. So, all right. So along with the tumbler, I also got a saw, which this was the original reason that I went to go pick up this equipment. I saw this saw online. It was a good deal, and I wanted the saw. Whenever I got there, it was just massive. It was a lot bigger than what it looked like online, and I went ahead and picked it up anyways because it was such a good deal. But I don't think I'm gonna keep it. So here it is. And this is a dual automatic saw, and this thing is huge. So like I said, I'm not a big guy, so just to give you a reference here, this thing is bigger than me. So and the model is a C1216A. And the reason why they sold it for such a good deal is because it's missing the lift cylinder. So right in here is where the lift cylinder goes, and this is the hydraulic line for the lift cylinder. And other than that, everything else is working on it. You can see these cylinders here, which automatically clamp onto the work. And it's got this screw here which will automatically position the work and move the work in the correct position so that you can make automatic cuts. You can make several automatic cuts with this. And it's got this heavy duty roller bearing system here so that you could load the stock. I have powered this up. It does work. It would probably be a great saw to have, but it's just really big. It's hard. If I want to move it around the shop, it's hard to move. It's really heavy. I want to say it's at least probably 4,000 to 5,000 pounds. It has, I believe that's 1.25 inch thick blade there. It also has wash down capability. Has a little gun in here, nozzle, so that you could wash down or lubricate the work. And it's actually really neat to see this thing operate, just to see all the moving parts and pieces. It's just the knowledge that goes behind building a piece of machinery like this. It's just pretty impressive. And then here's all the hydraulic feeds, all the hydraulic functions. So that's the Dual, and I will definitely be selling this one. So originally I was going to keep it, but it's just bigger than what I need, so I'll be selling this. Okay, so another thing new to the shop is this Sandblast cabinet. It's a Econoline cabinet. These are industrial grade cabinets. I believe this is actually the exact same model that they sell in McMaster Car. And this is really nice. I'm still debating on if I want to keep this or not. I want to say this is a 40 by 40 cabinet, so it's really large. And I've already tested it out. It works. Let's see here. So I just blasted out a little F8 in there, and I actually blasted a full piece of material, and it worked really well. So it's pretty nice. And to be honest, the only reason why I think I might get rid of this is because these are really expensive. This model is probably about $2,500, $3,000 for this model. Another thing is that it has this latch here, so this whole lid will lift completely open. And then it's got this big spring on the back end to assist with the lifting. And the only reason why I'm thinking about selling it, because I have wanted a blast cabinet for a long time. They're just really useful whenever you need them. It has this window up here, the light that works. It also has this ventilation system with a really nice Leeson motor on it. So that's a good motor, strong, powerful motor on that thing. But the only reason why I'm thinking about selling it is because I think these are fairly simple to build, and this is an industrial machine, but the sheet metal on this I'm just not real impressed with. It's pretty thin sheet metal, and it doesn't have to be thick. I mean, it adds more weight, it adds more cost, but it's just a little bit flimsy to me. And if you look down here, this is probably like 10 gauge, I guess. And this thing is not light. When you fill it up full of blast media, it's got some weight to it. It's pretty heavy. So if I was gonna build this, I would probably build it out of 1/4 inch angle iron. And another thing is that these things are really tall. So for the third time, I'm not a real big guy. So for me to get up here to this window, which this is above my head right now, it is sitting on these blocks, but that's only about 4 inches, and this thing is way up over my head. So I would probably build one that's smaller, that's fit for my size, that's easy to access, and just well built with a good heavy base. I would probably use 10 gauge on the cabinet itself, but as far as the base goes, I would build it at 1/4 inch. So, but we'll see. I don't know if I can even find the time to do it. In the meantime, if I get a good offer on it, I'll sell it. But it's going to be useful around the shop to have. So I'm kind of good either way on this one. All right, and the last addition to the shop, and the one that I'm most excited about, is our new Toyota forklift. So this is a 3,000-pound forklift, and I've been looking for a forklift for a long time, but they are not cheap. They're more expensive than you would probably think. So to find not even a good forklift, but a good used forklift, it's pretty tough to do. They say forklifts are like 4x4 pickups. People just run them to death. They don't take great care of them, and they are made to work hard, and people do work them hard. So it's hard to find a used one. But we found this one. It came with 2 bottles, and I love the way that these bottle racks work. They just swing out just like that, and you can load and replace the bottle. So that makes it really handy. And then it just locks back in place. And Toyota is known for their forklifts. They have one of the best forklifts on the market. They're one of the simplest designs. They have some of the best motors in them, and they are made to last. The other thing that made the forklift that I was looking for difficult to find was the pneumatic tires. So these tires here are filled with air. And the reason why that's important is because the pneumatic tires allow you to drive this in the gravel, in the street, and even in the grass if the ground is hard enough. So it allows you to take it outside of the shop versus most forklifts that have solid tires on them. They are only made to be driven on flat concrete floors like this here, and they do not drive in the gravel or in the grass at all. Another key difference is that the pneumatic style forklifts, they have a larger clearance underneath. If you have a warehouse style forklift, it has almost no clearance. You're probably about 2 inches off the ground. And the reason for that is because they need a low center of gravity so that they can lift heavier loads at a higher altitude or a higher height off of, you know, shelves, warehouse shelves and things like that. But really the only thing wrong with this was that the seat had a couple of rips in it and they replaced it with some tape. It looks kind of funky, but it doesn't, it's functional, so it's okay. I don't know if it's worth it to replace this. Maybe get it reupholstered or something. I might look into doing that. But other than that, this thing is in really, really good condition. It had low hours. It belonged to a chimney sweep company, and really all they used it for was to unload their materials off of the back of trucks. So it has very low time on it. And this wasn't really cheap either, but it was a lot cheaper than going and buying a brand new forklift. If you look up what brand new forklifts cost, I think you might be a little shocked on the price. But we've had this here in the shop for a couple months now, and it has been invaluable. I have used it for several different things that I didn't even think to use a forklift for. Loading trucks, unloading trucks is obvious, but just work handling and just being able to move material and rearrange my shop and even position things, you know, in a certain way, just so that, you know, it makes it easier to work on. It's a valuable tool. It's well worth the money, and I don't see myself ever being without a forklift again. So whenever I get around to it, I may try and shoot some videos as far as some general forklift maintenance. I would like to get all the oil changed on this. I want to change out the filters, just do a good inspection. So I'll try and make some videos on just general forklift maintenance for you guys. And if anybody out there's got any tips, tricks, or just advice, go ahead and leave that in the comments, because I really don't know anything about forklift, and to explain to what extent, I don't even know where the oil or how to drain the oil on these things. So I will be doing some research. I'll be talking to some people. I'm sure it's not that difficult, but we'll get it done. All right, so that's it for the shop update. I just wanted to let you know what's going on, let you know that there's a lot of things moving here in the F8N shop, and just know that I'm still out here grinding and trying to build this place up. And every day is something new. Every day is a new challenge, and I'm looking forward to continue to produce more videos for you guys and acquire, trade, move, sell new equipment, so that you get exposure to different types of equipment, and get some new projects in here so that we can make some good project videos. Thanks for watching F8N. Go build something.